Hi guys, Captain Daly here. Happy and proud to share our plans for a 14-day sailing cruise in the Dalmatian islands of Croatia. If you know of additional locations we should add to our plan, please comment below. Of course, you're always welcome to subscribe to my channel. The Dalmatian islands are circled in red. They're part of this country, Croatia, which is across the Adriatic Sea from Italy. We'll be sailing between Split and Dubrovnik. Here's the Croatian seal, and here's the Croatian flag. The 14 segments of our cruise are indicated by the different colors, and we will go over them briefly. Each one of these is in detail as a YouTube video. Day 1 is its own video, Day 2, and it has much more detail than what we're going to go in this overview. So here's Day 1. Day 1 is out of our originating marina, ACI Marina Split, past a lighthouse, down into Viz Harbor. It's a 30.4 nautical miles, 6.1 hour day. Here we are departing the originating marina, ACI Marina Split, passing the lighthouse, taking some pictures, and going into Viz Harbor, which is where we'll spend our first night. Very nice protected harbor. From there, the next day, Day 2, we'll come out around this bend here and we will visit a submarine base, a submarine pen. We'll go to a couple of beaches, go into the city of Komiža, go into the harbor at the city of Komiža, and then go to the Blue Cave, and then wind up at a beautiful beach called Steneva. Here's the submarine pen that we'll be seeing. You can actually go in there, you can swim in there, you can take your dinghy in there. Probably won't be able to fit the sailboat. I need 66 feet to get underneath the that archway. I don't think that's 66, but we'll see. And then here is the Blue Grotto. The Blue Grotto is on the island of Basivo. It's interesting how the sunlight lights up these beautiful crystal clear seas with all of the different rocks. It's absolutely gorgeous. And another truly unique cove. This is Steneva. We have these huge cliffs that are blocking most of the entrance to the cove, except for this little narrow entryway here. This is a summer picture. I think that in April, May, we won't have this many boats in the area. We'll spend the night there at Steneva, and the next day we'll go past Otok Susak, Island Susak, and into Pasador. There's a lot of lighthouses in Croatia, in the Adriatic. And here's another one, Susak. Take a picture of it. And go into Pasador. Pasador Listova is a very unique little cove, a little island. It has an old bridge that connects the two islands together. It has a lot of history to it. We'll spend the night here in Pasador, and the next day, Day 4, we'll leave Pasador, come around the south end, look at two more lighthouses, and wind up at the western edge of Miljet National Park in a very upscale harbor called Pomena. Here's the first lighthouse, Cape Struga. And here's the second lighthouse, even more isolated, more out of the way, the Glavat Lighthouse. We'll sail into Pomena and spend the night there. It's a very beautiful, upscale village. I'm sure the food will be really good here. And this is part of a national park as well, so it should be very interesting. The next day, Day 5, we'll depart Pomena, and we will sail along the southern coast of the national park Miljet. The real highlight of the day is the Odysseus Cave, which we'll see here in a little bit. Here's some of the beaches along the way. Very pretty, very unique beaches, rocky beaches. And this is the Odysseus Cave. This is where, on his way home from the Trojan War, Odysseus was detained by the nymph Calypso in this cave for 7 years. Every night she seduced him and got him to stay another night for 7 years. It's kind of fun to see the mythology behind these caves. Very well lit, very beautiful. Looking forward to seeing the cave and taking some pictures. We'll leave the eastern edge of Miljet from Sapluna and go past 2 more lighthouses and into Dubrovnik. After we're through visiting Dubrovnik, we'll go around the city and go up into the north in that river there, and we'll wind up at ACI Marina Dubrovnik, which is beautiful, as you'll see in just a bit. Here's the first lighthouse, Grgic, and here's the second lighthouse, Andrija. We'll just pass by here and take some pictures. And then here's the beginning of Dubrovnik. This is a castle that's a standalone. It's a little bit to the west of the walled city. This is the castle Grgic. And there's a lot of history, a lot of change of hands, change of countries, rebuilding. It's very interesting to read about. And here is the western side of the walled city, Dubrovnik. Gorgeous place. This is where the Game of Thrones was filmed. This is the Rector's Palace in Dubrovnik, very famous place. And here's the old port of Dubrovnik. You've probably seen this picture before. Very unique, very, very unique. Coming out of Dubrovnik, going back around and up the river, way up the river, we come to the ACI Marina Dubrovnik. What a beautiful setting in this river that's surrounded by mountains. Really pretty. Day 7, we depart from ACI Dubrovnik, Marina Dubrovnik, go underneath this bridge and come to the Blue Cave, yet another cave, and then visit a couple of beaches and come around and spend the evening in Lopud. Here's the Blue Cave, again with the incredibly unique lighting because the water is so crystal clear. And here are some more typical beaches of the area. This particular one is Don Divan Beach in Kolosep. And this one is Donje Selo Beach in Kolosep. Very unique. Who'd have known there's that many beaches in Croatia and the Dalmatian Islands? Day 8. We leave Lopud and travel west with the wind and visit some beaches. Again, we're going on the Miljet Island, but this time on the north side. And we wind up in Polis, Miljet. As we leave Lopud, we look at the Franciscan Monastery there. And here is a very pretty little village, Sobra, on the north shore of Miljet. There are many locations where there are old castles that have been deserted, and the city just grows through them. There's a highway that goes through the middle of the ruins of this castle. Really different. This is in Polis, which is where we'll be spending the evening in Miljet. Day 9, we leave Polis and head north up to Zuljana on the peninsula, and we'll see a winery, and then we see a very unique lighthouse, and we wind up in a very, very old city, the old city of Curcula. This winery is just so unique. It's stuck out on this peninsula in the water. I've never seen a winery on a peninsula before. It's the Grgic, Grgic Winery. Okay, and this lighthouse is an abandoned lighthouse that's been turned into a resort. So you can rent the island and the lighthouse and the pool and everything else that goes with it. And you and your family can stay in an abandoned lighthouse in Dalmatian Islands. How cool is that? Going into Curcula, there's a very pretty monastery that's interesting to look at. And then there's the old city. It's such incredible history and so beautiful. This is ACI Marina Curcula, where we'll be spending the evening. And you can see there are all kinds of cruise ships that come in and out of here because it is so famous and so interesting to visit. Day 10, we depart Curcula, go back up to the peninsula, and then back down to Curcula and travel the northern shore and wind up in the western side of Curcula in Vella. The houses are so unique. They're old and they're pretty and they're functional. The difference between Croatia and Greece is that you see a lot of antiquities in Greece that have abandoned. There's a lot of antiquities in Croatia that are used. And so picturesque. I mean, just really beautiful coves with beautiful colors. Day 11, we leave Vella. We travel along the coast here, see some beaches. We go to a very small island, very secluded, very quiet, Skedro. Look at some beaches there. And then wind up in a very famous place, St. Clement in... it's Otok St. Clement, the island of St. Clement, and the city is called Palmisana. Here's some of the beaches that are there in Curcula. This is Uvala Perna. And this one is Uvala Mostir. Very old houses, even some abandoned, very old wharfs. It's a very, very interesting place to investigate, to explore. And this is ACI St. Clement in Palmisana. And this is a summertime picture. In May, we are not expecting this kind of traffic in there. Maybe half, maybe a fourth of these number of boats will be there in May. But it's a very popular place. It's located very close to Var. And the next day we come out of St. Clement and we go to Var. And we visit Var and some of the beaches in Var. And then we travel all the way out to one of the most unique icons of the Croatian Dalmatian islands, the Golden Horn. And I'll show you a picture of that in a little bit. And then an even more interesting set of fisheries and fish farms and another submarine base. And we'll wind up in this cove here, Lucisi. This is a Villa Oceanus, one of the coves in Var. Kind of gives you an idea of how upscale Var is. It's a real party town, too. And here it is. This is the Golden Horn, which in Croatian is Zlatni Rat, Z-L-A-T-N-I-R-A-T. And if you've ever seen pictures of Dalmatia, this is probably one of the pictures you've seen. It's a very unique beach. As I said, we'll go up this cove and we'll see several of these fish farms like this. And all the way at the top of the cove is another submarine base. So we'll be able to see 2 submarine bases on this trip. We spend the night in Lucisa, and we come around and we see a Gothic church and another lighthouse, some beaches, and we wind up on our last night at the Blue Lagoon. It'll be a sad night. It'll be the last night on the boat. Here's the Gothic church that we can go visit in one of the coves. The lighthouse again, as we pass by the lighthouse. And there it is. There is the Blue Lagoon. Very shallow water between the islands. You can't sail between them. We'll come in through here and we'll leave through here, come around to go back out. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful area, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Last day, leave Blue Lagoon and head straight back for ACI Marina Split. Now, we have to be in at 0900. It's a 3-hour trip, so we need to be underway at 0600 So we're probably pulling anchor at 05 or 05:30. It's going to be a very busy morning. Alternatively, if this is a bad anchorage, if the weather is bad, we could actually sail this the night before, because night sailing is allowed. So that's an alternative to worrying about it in the morning. But I mean, the Blue Lagoon, I'm sure the Blue Lagoon is beautiful at night. I'd love to see that. But we'll see. We'll play it by ear. And of course, sail back into ACI Marina Split. The harbor shares, the marina shares the harbor with big cruise ships and commercial ships as well. It's one of the main ports of Croatia, Split. Now, the boat itself is a beautiful boat. It's a Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 469. Here she is on a beam reach with a mountain in the background, shot from the starboard quarter. And here she is close hauled. You can see she's really got some beautiful lines on her with a twin steering station that makes it really a fun boat to captain. Here she is on a port reach, shot from the starboard beam. Gorgeous lines, just gorgeous. And here she is, port close hauled from the starboard forward. You can tell she's got some really great lines and will have some really great speed. Here's the plan. The plan of the vessel is 2 staterooms in the stern with 2 heads, a head for each stateroom, private. It has toilet, a sink, and a shower in each one. The galley is on the starboard side. The mess is on the port side with a chart table on the port side. The 2 staterooms forward have heads, private heads as well. And then there's a sail storage area forward of this where we'll keep fenders and sail bags and possibly even some extra suitcases we don't want to deal with. We can throw them up there in that watertight compartment. Here's the companionway up to the cockpit. It's just a lovely boat. I'm really falling in love with this boat. She's, according to the manual, 47.7 feet long. Her beam is 14.7 feet. That's a wide boat. Her air draft is 66.6 feet, so we need to have bridges that are at least that tall to go under. And her draft is 7.4, so we need a good 8 feet of water underneath us so we don't run aground. She's powered by this Yanmar 45 horsepower engine, carries 62 gallons of fuel and 168 gallons of water. She burns about 1 gallon an hour, which at 5 knots gives a range on engine only of 310 nautical miles. Plenty of range for our needs. Here's a shot of the interior salon, shot from the companionway looking forward. I believe this is a layout that we'll have. This is an alternative layout with an L-shaped galley and a seating area in front of it. The cockpit is very well laid out. It has 2 steering stations, 2 Raymarine chart plotters, 2 sets of instruments. The bow thruster is right here, so we have a lot of control over the position of the ship. Just very, very roomy and very comfortable. And so that's it. That's the overview of our 14 days of incredible sailing in our Jeanneau 469, visiting beautiful islands with world-class sights to see. Please feel free to comment on this plan below, and of course you're welcome to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video.